Rise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com. O.J. Simpson, the former NFL star acquitted of murdering his ex-wife in a televised trial that gripped the nation, died at the age of 76. And the Department of Justice announced a new rule Thursday that aims to close the gun show loophole for background checks on firearms. Plus, the next court date for Beeville Mayor and appointed public defender Brian Watson is set for late April.
And we've got another warm and sunny day coming our way today, but the clouds and the winds are going to start picking up this weekend. We'll take a look at that weather coming up.
In your athlete of the week, no stranger to success on the track. Hear from her in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 12th day of April 2024. The time is now 6:31 on our Friday morning, and it is Only Child Day.
Only Child Day, that's actually a pretty important day because there are a lot of only childs out there.
There are. I'm not one of them. I'm one of 8.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm actually one of, if you include me, I have 5 siblings.
Wow.
So I'm technically one of 6.
I'm really thankful for my siblings, but I won't lie, I have thought about what it would be like.
I think everybody that has siblings has thought about what it'd be like without a sibling.
But
no offense to our siblings, we love our siblings.
Thankful to siblings.
Yes, definitely.
Well, Parker, I'm hoping your puppy Autumn remains an only child for a few more months.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You're thinking about getting a cat,
yeah,
Parker.
I have. I really want to get a cat, no. But my puppy, I don't know if she wants a friend just yet because she's still a little puppy. But I'll have to think about that another time because we've got some weather to talk about and we've got a beautiful sunrise rising here in Victoria. If you want to go out there this morning, though, you might want to grab a light jacket because it's a little bit cool out there. About 53 degrees right now, but dew point about 48 degrees, about 5 degrees off from that temperature. You got an 83% humidity, so it's a little bit, actually, I wouldn't even say it's too humid. Not too humid, not too dry, not too bad of a morning, just a little bit chilly though. But actually, all of us are seeing those chilly temperatures this morning, all of us in the low and mid 50s. Along the immediate coast, y'all are in the low 60s. Actually got a mid 60 right there because you're right next to that warm 70-degree water. That's keeping you nice and consistent this morning. But look at the weather headlines here. If you don't like the cool weather this morning, good news is the sun's going to come out today, and it's going to be our last day before the clouds start picking up this week. I got mostly cloudy skies expected for next week. But we do have a full week of breezy days coming our way. Probably lots of gusty winds coming our way. Not too much today. We'll take a look at that later. But no rain is expected in our area until late next week, probably Thursday night, when that rain finally arrives again. But today, not too bad of a day in terms of temperatures. By 9 a.m. this morning, if you're heading off to work, it might be a good time to roll those windows down. It's going to be in the mid and upper 60s this morning. And by noontime, it's going to be right around 80 degrees. And in the afternoon, probably I'm thinking right around 83 for this afternoon. But the winds will probably start picking up in the afternoon today, gusting around 25. But lots more breezy and warm days still to come. We'll take a look at that more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. O.J. Simpson, the former NFL star acquitted of murdering his ex-wife in a televised trial that gripped the nation, died at the age of 76. Simpson played 11 seasons in the National Football League, but his sports legacy took a back seat in the 1990s after his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson was killed. Simpson's case went to trial in 1995 and was broadcast to millions of viewers across the nation. He was acquitted in both murders in a controversial verdict. His family says he died Wednesday after a fight with cancer. A child was struck by a vehicle Thursday morning in Point Comfort while waiting for the school bus. The Port Lavaca Wave reports the incident happened around 7 yesterday morning at the San Jacinto Street school bus pickup spot. It's unclear where the child stood when this happened. First responders airlifted the child to a Houston hospital, and Point Comfort police say they are expected to be discharged soon. At this point, no charges have been filed, and the incident remains an ongoing investigation. A nationwide shortage of potentially life-saving drugs is growing worse. The shortage now the worst on record, according to a top pharmacist group. And the question now is why and what can be done?
Doctors and pharmacists are sounding the alarm as a nationwide drug shortage hits a record high, with more than 320 medications now in short supply.
This is one of the worst times that we've had as far as we've been tracking, especially with the total number of ongoing and active shortages.
Experts say some patients are having to forego critical medication because hospitals and pharmacies just can't get it. Cancer treatments, diabetes, ADHD, and injectable drugs critical in life-saving operations are just some of the medications in low supply. Marilyn Martin has type 2 diabetes and has had trouble finding her prescriptions.
I started it and everything was going really good. And then all of a sudden I can't get the dose that I'm on.
Kimberly Yard's daughter is taking the stimulant Vyvanse for her ADHD for years, but her insurance company wants her to switch to Adderall, another drug in short supply.
So you want me to potentially not have consistent medication for my daughter? Instead, really? Why?
Experts say there are several reasons as to why. Supply and demand, manufacturing and raw material issues following the pandemic, and lack of incentive for big pharmaceutical companies to produce the generic drugs that have now become so cheap. Data shows 90% of Americans now rely on generic drugs. Experts say there are often alternative medications, but they come with challenges.
It creates a lot of problems inside the hospital, potential for dosing errors, potential for medication errors, and in some cases, patients have to go without therapy or have their care rationed.
So what can be done? The Biden administration is now urging Congress to pass a law rewarding hospitals that buy drugs from a variety of drug manufacturers. And the FTC is investigating drug distributors to look into whether they misused their market power. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
The Department of Justice announced a new rule Thursday that aims to close the gun show loophole for background checks on firearms. The rule, which was finalized this week, makes clear that anyone engaged in the business of selling firearms must be federally licensed and conduct background checks, regardless of whether they're selling on the internet, at a gun show, or at a brick-and-mortar store. The Biden administration says tens of thousands more firearms dealers will have to run background checks under the new rule. The next court date for Beeville Mayor Brian Watson is set for April 25th. Watson will remain the chief public defender for the 4-county district. The oversight board of the Crossroads Public Defender Officer made that decision Wednesday afternoon. He is indicted on charges of misuse of official information following his arrest last week. 34-year-old Watson from Beeville will start as chief public defender on May 6th. The districts include Victoria, Lavaca, Jackson, and Refugio counties, and his annual salary is set at $160,000. 3 chemical plants in the Crossroads are among those that will be affected by a new EPA rule to slash toxic pollution. The new federal limit targets 6 cancer-causing chemicals and aims to reduce the cancer risk for nearby communities. Of the chemical plants affected, those included are Formosa Plastics in Point Comfort, UCC Seadrift Operations, and Investa in Victoria. The Texas Tribune reports a new EPA rule will affect 80 Texas plants. The EPA reports those plants use hazardous chemicals to make plastics, paints, pesticides, and other products. Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter has agreed to surrender to authorities today. The former interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, was federally charged with bank fraud on Thursday and is accused of stealing over $16 million from the MLB superstar. Mizuhara is said to have accessed Ohtani's bank account and shut out Ohtani's agent, accountant, and financial advisor from the account, all while stealing millions as he placed upwards of 19,000 bets over a 2-year stretch. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Let's take a look at our clock now. It is 6:39 on our Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now. Sunrise. April is Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month.
Up a bill related to our national security. I'm Christiane Cordero in Washington with why it's getting pushback from both Democrats and Republicans.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast, and later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at that nice weather that's coming our way this weekend.
Here's a look at what's coming up on Community Crossroads this weekend. We first sit down with Victoria College to discuss dual credit courses, followed by Parkinson Awareness Day in the city of Victoria and Brother Gary Moses, and we end with the Victoria Art League.
The artwork is beautiful and it ranges from painting to drawing to photography. It's a little stressful because my students do participate.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live at Cuero. Look at that. The sun's starting to come up. We've got a nice, pretty blue and also some purple in the skies this morning. Nice, pretty morning, but it is a little bit chilly if you're going to go out there and see that sunrise. About 51. Oh, nope, never mind. 52 degrees over there in Cuero. Just updated on me. But a little bit humid out there with your dew point 2 degrees off of that temperature. Got a 94% humidity, so a little bit humid out there, but not enough for fog as we get that about 95% or higher. So not too bad of a morning for us, but we have not too bad of a day either as well. If you're seeing your kiddos out the door, it can be about 54, kind of like it is right now. They might want that jacket this morning, but they'll definitely take that jacket off this afternoon because we're getting to 83 this afternoon. Nice and warm today, maybe a little bit breezy as well with your gusts today, maybe between 20 and 25 miles an hour. But with the slight wind out there today, grass pollen is going to be high, tree pollen is going to be moderate. I'd recommend taking an allergy pill today. We've all had here at the studio have had plenty of allergies today. And UV index is going to be very high today because there's plenty of sunny skies coming away. But that's all going to change this weekend because the clouds are going to pick up. And we're going to take a look at that and more in just a few more moments. And that's it for weather. Good look at sports with Zach Brown.
Our athlete of the week is from Goliad, and she took home 5 gold medals last week and more yesterday. And she's no stranger to success in all sports, especially track and field. Goliad track star Kyla Hill took home 5 gold medals in the district championships, and she looks like she's on a fast track to competing in the state meets very soon, trying to give it her all in her senior season.
Really pushing myself in practices and making sure I give it my all because I don't have very many chances left. I've done really good so far, so I'm happy that I've been doing good, but really sad that it's my last time.
Coach Zamzo has been there every step of the way for the star senior, and she credits him with her and her team's success.
He's definitely one of the best coaches I've ever had. He's been coaching me since I was little, like in Small World, 4 years old, doing summer track. And he's always pushing us, and whenever we'll do 300s, and before we start a rep, he's like, all right, this is for 355 or whatever, whatever time, and he's really good.
As we enter the home stretch for track season, the girls trying to enter the most important races of the year, hitting their full stride, trying to bring more gold to Goliad.
This team is so great. We haven't actually been able to run our OG 4x4 for a few weeks. Last district was actually our first time doing it for 5 weeks. And so we're really trying to get back to our 355 or faster than that one that we ran. So yeah.
With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Congress is set to take up a bill related to our national security today. Part of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, allows the government to collect information on foreign nationals without a warrant. Republican lawmakers argue it gives the government too much power over Americans refusing to reauthorize without certain changes.
Today, a bill that helps the government fight against terrorism is set to make its way through Congress. Without it, FBI Director Christopher Wray warns American lives will be at risk.
If we're blinded from seeing what our adversaries are doing, who they're working with, I can tell you that's going to most definitely have consequences for our ability to protect the American people.
The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, allows our intelligence agencies to collect data on foreign nationals without a warrant. It sometimes collects data on Americans who interact with persons of interest, fueled by sharp criticism from former President Donald Trump, who urged Congress kill FISA. Hardline House Republicans opposed its reauthorization. Now, after late-night negotiations, they agreed to move forward with a shorter reauthorization.
The 2-year instead of 5 length of time, sunset is the major change.
Wray particularly vouched for the part of FISA that can collect data on Americans. This week, an 18-year-old Idaho man was arrested and charged after allegedly planning an ISIS-K-inspired attack here in the U.S.
It is crucial to identifying terrorists in the homeland, working with or inspired by a rogues gallery of foreign terrorist organizations who have publicly called for attacks against our country.
A possible reform to the bill would require a warrant before accessing data from Americans. That has mixed reviews from both Republicans and Democrats. A vote is expected today in the House, and the clock is ticking. FISA officially expires 1 week from today. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And now let's take a look at our viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, should the U.S. be able to collect data from Americans suspected of terrorism. Okay, let's take a look at our results. 78% of you say yes, and 22% of you, oh, it's changing now. All right, 22% of you say no, and 78% of you say yes. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. April is Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month, and Thursday, the Hope of South Texas hosted a panel discussion educating the public on ways to combat, prevent, and address child abuse. The mission of Hope of South Texas is to reduce the trauma of child abuse. Thursday's panel discussion included Child Protective Services agents and Victoria District Attorney Constance Philly Johnson.
So it is a law now where crimes against children, it's a co-joint investigation. The CAC coordinates that. So when an interview or when an allegation of abuse comes in, the CAC is aware of that, and we are coordinating with all these different agencies, and we review those cases once a month, and we help that child and their family up through the entire judicial process.
Hope Child Advocacy Center of Victoria will host a 5K on April 27th to show children who may be survivors of abuse that they are not alone and there are services to help them and their families. The time is now 6:47 on our Friday morning. Still to come, the CDC has found no link between COVID vaccines and cardiac deaths among the young.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. Hope you've been loving all that nice weather we've had all this last week, and also the sunny weather we had yesterday, because we got a little bit more sunshine coming our way today. before the clouds pick up tomorrow. Looking at that satellite this morning, you could see a little bit of cloud cover coming our way out of West Texas over there out near El Paso and also near Odessa and Midland area, but maybe a really thin area of maybe some thin layer of some cirrus clouds over us this morning. But whatever clouds are out there this morning, I'm expecting those to burn off just a little bit as we go right around noontime. But in the afternoon, I think there might be a couple passing clouds coming our way out of the west, kind of originating from that same area you just saw out there in West Texas. But then as we go into tonight, that's a different story. Those clouds are going to really pick up. We've got mostly cloudy skies tonight, and then I'm thinking partly cloudy skies tomorrow with lots of peaks and sunshine coming our way tomorrow. So a little bit more sunshine before the clouds really pick up going into next week. But if you liked yesterday's weather, we got just about the same coming our way today. Got 84 yesterday. I'm thinking about 83 for the high temperature here today. But if you like that, about the same thing for the next several days. But we're going to take a look at all that more in just a few more moments. Back to Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found no link between COVID vaccines and cardiac deaths among young people. The results come from an analysis of death certificates from Oregon residents who died from any heart condition or unknown reasons between June 2021 and December of 2022. Nearly 1,300 death certificates from people 16 to 30 years old were reviewed. Only 3 of those people died within 100 days of vaccination. None of the death certificates listed vaccination as an immediate or contributing cause of death. The study comes after claims young people experience inflammation of the heart muscle after receiving the COVID vaccine. If you enjoyed watching the Netflix documentary Harry and Meghan, there's some good news for you. The duo just signed on to executive produce 2 new shows. Netflix says the 2 nonfiction series will be on lifestyle and the game of polo. The first will be curated by the Duchess herself, Meghan. The show will highlight cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship. The second series will focus on the game of polo, which Prince Harry plays. Netflix says the show promises to deliver unprecedented access into the world of polo. The streamer will announce the release dates for the shows in the coming months. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Football player Rashee Rice turned himself into police Thursday in connection to a car crash. Football player Rashee Rice turned himself into police Thursday in connection with a Dallas car crash. This comes after Dallas police issued an arrest warrant for Rice in connection with a high-speed crash on the North Central Expressway. The arrest warrant accused Rice of aggravated assault collision involving serious bodily injury and 6 counts of collision. Rice turned himself over to the Glen Heights Police and was taken to the DeSoto Regional Jail. He and his lawyer Royce West have both said that the Kansas City Chiefs receiver is cooperating with investigators. Rice was booked and released with a bond of $40,000. Former Vice President Mike Pence has a new job. A conservative Christian college in Pennsylvania says Pence has accepted a teaching position at the school. Grove City College made the announcement Thursday, the same day Pence delivered the keynote address at the college's Institute for Faith and Freedom. The college says Pence will be a visiting fellow at its new Center for Faith and Public Life. Over his years in public office, Pence has been open about his faith, often referring to himself as, quote, a Christian conservative and a Republican in that order. Strong storms on Thursday hit North Carolina, leaving thousands without power. Heavy downpours, strong winds, and thunderstorms were reported throughout the state. The storm system prompted several tornado warnings and watches across the area. The National Weather Service says a confirmed tornado touched down in Wilkes County. Several homes and businesses sustained damage. Closed roads and down power lines were also reported throughout the state. And wind gusts reached up to 50 miles per hour in some areas. Keep that gas tank full because gas prices keep rising in Victoria. AAA Texas reports the average gas price per gallon in Victoria is $3.19 a gallon. That's up 11 cents from last week, 24 cents from one month ago, and an increase of 5 cents a gallon from a year ago. AAA Texas reports higher demand and rising oil prices will likely nudge pump prices even higher. Main Street in downtown Victoria will close today for the installation of a statue base. The new statue of Martín de León and Patricia de la Garza, the founders of Victoria County, will be unveiled during a ceremony at 1 p.m. Saturday as part of Victoria's bicentennial celebration this weekend. Texas will use computers to grade written answers on this year's STAR test. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Parker. Parker, look at that beautiful, cool sunrise we have over the water in Port Lavaca.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get out of the way so you can see this. Look at that beautiful sunrise rising over the water this morning. Very, very pretty sunrise coming over the water this morning, but a little bit cool if you're going to go see it. A little bit chilly out there along the coast, about 62 degrees this morning with the clear skies out there this morning. But all of us are in the 50s and 60s this morning, so you all might want to grab a jacket if you're heading out the door this morning. But don't fret about the cool weather because we're going to warm up again today. By around 9 a.m. it's actually while you're on the way to work, it's going to be nice out there. You might want to roll that window down. And by noontime, right around 80 degrees. And then the afternoon, I'm thinking a high of 83 for today. But coming our way this afternoon, it's going to be a little bit breezy. Right now, winds aren't too bad, but like I said, this afternoon, winds probably going to increase, gusting maybe around 20 miles an hour. But we've got lots more breezy days just like that to come, with the clouds increasing coming our way this weekend.
All right, we're going to have a breezy, sunny, bicentennial weekend, Parker. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, thank y'all for joining us. Have a wonderful start to your weekend. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Don, Mac, and Zach today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.